Our players, Frumpy Dump is once again pissed to the highest level of festivity at his own actions. Baby, Judge Chuckin done unsealed Jack Smith's redacted motion on Frumpy Dump's presidential immunity, and it ain't looking too good for Frumpy Dump. So, of course, he scurried his ass on over to Devil Is a Lie Social to exercise his tiny ketchup-stained fingers to type in all caps about the injustice. Y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat. Let's talk about this 165-page motion in the federal election interference case against Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Today, Judge Chuckin unsealed Jack Smith's 165-page motion arguing against Frumpy Dump's presidential immunity claim. Now, as we all know, in late August, prosecutors filed a superseding indictment after the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity, and they charged Frumpy Dump with conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of and an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. So the newly unsealed court filing makes the case that the Supreme Court's ruling does not negate the criminal allegations pending against Frumpy Dump. In the filing, they said at its core, the defendant's scheme was a private one. He extensively used private actors and his campaign infrastructure to attempt to overturn the election results and operate in a private capacity as a candidate for office. Prosecutors added that Frumpy Dump was working with a team of private co-conspirators. The defendant acted as a candidate when he pursued multiple criminal means to disrupt through fraud and deceit the government's function by which votes are collected and counted, a function in which the defendant, as president, had no official role. In the filing, they pointed to several meetings between Frumpy Dump campaign staff and Pissy Pence, where they were pressuring him to not certify the votes on January 6th. At a private lunch on November 12th, Pissy Pence reiterated a face-saving option for the defendant: don't concede, but recognize that the process is over. On November 16th, at a private lunch between Frumpy Dump, Pissy Pence tried to encourage Frumpy Dump to accept the results of the election and run again in 2024, to which the defendant, Frumpy Dump, responded, "I don't know. 2024 is so far off." In another phone call on November 23rd, Frumpy Dump told Pissy Pence that his private attorney, and they redacted the name, was not optimistic about the election challenges. And then there was a private lunch on December 21st in which Pissy Pence tried to encourage Frumpy Dump not to look at the election as a loss, but just as an intermission. This was followed later in the day by a private conversation in the Oval Office in which Frumpy Dump asked Pissy Pence, "What do you think we should do?" And Pissy Pence said, "After we have exhausted every legal process in the courts and Congress, if we still come up short, Frumpy Dump should take a bow." Prosecutors said that after learning Pissy Pence had been forced to leave the Capitol, the aide rushed into the White House private dining room to tell Frumpy Dump in hopes that he would take action to ensure Pissy Pence's safety. After delivering the news, Frumpy Dump looked at the aide and allegedly said, "So what?" Frumpy Dump was really laying into Pissy Pence, and I have to give Pissy a little bit of credit, because each and every time Frumpy Dump was trying to convince him to not certify those electoral college votes, Pissy Pence was saying, "Hell no," to the no, no, no. We already know that a lot of Frumpy Dump's co-conspirators was talking about him behind his back and also telling him to his face, "Hey, you lost." But there was some, like human skid Mark Giuliani, that was spreading false information about the integrity of the election. Jack Smith said that he has evidence that on January 6th, after the Frumpy Dump taste sniffers breached the Capitol, Frumpy Dump was monitoring everything on Twitter, Faux News, and his phone reveals that he was using Twitter, and instead of heeding the request from his advisors to issue a calming message and make efforts to stop the riot, he did absolutely nothing. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Now, again, Frumpy Dump is screaming injustice and also election interference because this document was unsealed prior to the election. I say that it's karma, baby. It's karma. I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. It's going to be very interesting to see how this situation plays out, how Judge Chuckin is going to rule on this. I'm going to keep it a stack. It ain't looking too good for Frump and Dump. There's no way you could argue that these situations was official acts. But, hey, we've seen the Supreme Court make a pretzel to please Frump and Dump. So we'll definitely have to wait and see. All right, players, put it in the comments. It's Double D Mo for the Black Accurate News.